only light came from the moon, which was hidden behind a thick layer of clouds. Emily was walking home from her late night shift at the diner, feeling exhausted but relieved that her shift was finally over. She had been working there for years and was used to walking home in the dark, but tonight was different. There was a feeling of unease in the air that she couldn't shake. She couldn't quite put her finger on what it was, but she felt as though she was being watched. She quickened her pace, but no matter how fast she walked, the feeling wouldn't go away. She started to feel like she was being followed and looked over her shoulder, but there was no one there. She tried to brush it off as her imagination getting the best of her, but the feeling only grew stronger. Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her, but when she turned around, there was still no one there. The footsteps grew louder and closer, until they were right behind her. She started to run, but the footsteps grew louder and closer. Her heart was pounding in her chest and her breathing was shallow and rapid. She could feel her fear starting to take over, but she didn't know what she was afraid of. Just as she was about to reach her front door, a hand reached out and grabbed her shoulder. She screamed and spun around, only to find herself face to face with a ghostly figure that seemed to have stepped out of the shadows. Its eyes were black as coal and its mouth was fixed in a sinister grin. Emily tried to run, but her legs wouldn't move. She was paralyzed with fear as the ghostly figure reached out and touched her face, leaving a cold and clammy handprint on her cheek. The ghostly figure then vanished into the night, leaving Emily alone and trembling with fear. From that moment on, Emily was never the same. The ghostly figure haunted her every night, leaving her in a state of constant terror. She tried to leave the city and start a new life, but the ghostly figure followed her wherever she went. She was trapped in a never-ending cycle of fear and terror, unable to escape the ghostly figure that haunted her every step of the way.